few weeks, I've been in a struggle to come up with new ideas for videos. But when I actually sat down to think about it, I realized something. I don't know how to see life as a creative. And even worse yet, I don't know how to be inspired by life. Inspiration is just one of those things we assume we always have access to. But do any of us even know where it comes from or how to use it? So, what do you do when you don't know how to do something? You look to see what other people are doing. So I've made a list of activities that some of my favorite creators engage in, and over the next few days, I'm going to try them out, and I want to find out two things. I want to know why these activities in particular, and if they actually work. So I guess come along with me as I try to find inspiration. I feel like I haven't really explained why I want to be creative, so let me give some context. Despite being a business owner and using logic as my compass for so long, I recently came across a series of creators who, kinda cliche, but opened my eyes. Watching each and every one of their stories unfold, how they created instead of consumed, it brought out a feeling I'd long suppressed from my youth. What so many people strive towards, but so few make it. The deep desire to be a YouTuber, but more specifically, to create something with all my heart and equally be as happy with it. I thought that if I was going to create something, I would want it to be worth something to someone. It didn't take long for me to decide to make these videos as a way of sharing the life lessons I've learned for the next generation. Who knows? Maybe my future kids will see this. At least, that's the plan. I don't know if this idea will blossom. They say you should make art for yourself. I do think that's true, but it doesn't hurt to have someone in mind too. Found a few spots I want to check out. I try to be meticulous about where I spend my time since I tend to have so much on my plate. You know, it's still an adventure, except somewhat planned out. And a ton of creatives tend to explore in the outdoors. So I've got my water and my allergy pills, because I've got seasonal allergies. And I think the place I want to explore is to... If you're wondering why I call it the Golden Rock Place, let me show you. There's just this big golden rock right by the entrance. I've never actually been here before, but I pass by it all the time. So I guess where better to start our adventure than right next door. I've always felt connected to nature, and I think a lot of creatives do too. It's the only place that connects you to both the micro and macro view of the world. To simultaneously see every organism, every flower petal, every gust of wind against the entirety of the environment, the whole world stretching to the horizon. There's a certain beauty in knowing that the same area can have vastly different looks and feels to it. How every sunset is just a little bit different. Check this out. You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking whether it's possible for me to get to the other side or not. It's the job of the creative to peer through the veil of physicality and see what's beyond. See past the trees and the forest. Only by doing that can art be made. Without it, everything is just an echo of what's already been done. And the aim of art is to create a rendition of life, not a reproduction of it. I recently learned that good creatives draw inspiration from several different avenues of life. It's never from a single place. And while learning how to make videos from videos seems logical, the goal is to have my own brand of creativity. And to do that, I need to broaden my horizons to new art forms. And what better place to take in art than an art gallery? Thank you. I've learned that it's important to build up your catalog, not just from one medium or source, but several. Film, paintings, music. But I think the most important thing I've realized is that art is something that takes a long time to make. Not in the sense of the artwork itself, but the culmination of time and experience that the artist had to go through to get to that stage of being able to create that art. It's never creating something amazing right off the cuff. There has to be a dozen past projects and years of time spent in patience developing those skills to finally make that masterpiece. We have this idea that if we go to create something, that it needs to be done quickly and also be a success. But in reality, anything worthwhile takes patience. And just when you think you've spent a long time doing something, you've only just begun. Hello. Good, how are you? I think it was back in episode 3 where this was mentioned. I'm thinking of adding a couple couches here and here, maybe a shelf here in the middle to hold all my trinkets, and maybe a cool looking lamp. Since then, I've decided that I want my home office to embody a cozy and refreshing space. So over the last few days, I've gone out and I've gathered a bunch of furniture, and I'm finally gonna make this space my own. I don't really leave my office that much, so it's important that this space has some life to it, just so I don't feel like it's sucking the life out of me. But first, let me show you what I bought. First, I've got another lamp that I'm gonna set up, so that way I have a trifecta of lamps in this room. One behind the desk, one on the desk, and then one on the other side of the room. Next, I've got a sofa in this box. Don't ask me how it fit, it just did. I've got this cool little IKEA desk, and the idea I had was to put a whiteboard right above it. That way I had a space to kind of brainstorm, draw, apply sticky notes, kind of see things in a bigger picture than you would on like an iPad or a piece of paper. And you're already familiar with the armchair. It's quaint, it's comfy, and I'm thinking of turning this into a reading area that doubles as a podcast setup once the sofa is installed. And I've also got a couple shelves in another room that I'm planning on putting up here and over in the corner of that room. But either way, it's time to get to work. Yo, look how big this Allen key is. You've got something about like average size. This is long. That was a bit of a challenge.
Suddenly there's no one else but me around. I lost my thought in translation. Oh, if I could only bring this back around. I have been lost for so long, but you make me feel that I am on something true, something real. You make me believe, make me feel again.
Another day, another opportunity to decorate this space. I'm gonna be so real with you right now. I got the wind knocked out of me after I finished building this couch. I guess I gotta work on my cardio. Anywho, there are a couple things still left to do before I would consider this home office to be furnished. First, I've got a few shelves that I want to put up just for general storage. And second, I want a space that I can freely jot down ideas and brainstorm. I normally do all this kind of stuff on my iPad, but sometimes the screen just isn't big enough. So I'm thinking of turning this space into like an idea workstation. So I've got a big old whiteboard I'm gonna put up on the wall. I've got some experience using a drill in the past, so I shouldn't have too many issues, but there's no promises. Only thing is, I have to be somewhere in a couple hours, and I literally have been waiting to do this for days now. So we gotta build these shelves and put up this whiteboard like a NASCAR pit crew.
Suddenly, the world I used to know, I see it differently. You woke me from a dream, now here's reality. Baby, baby, you are really hurting me. Stuck in repeat. Stop lying. I know you played your part, but baby, it's breaking my heart. Is it over? How could I know if you don't need me?
Okay, so there are 2 extra screws, which means I forgot something along the way. So I'm gonna do a quick scan of the entire shelf and see where these fit.
Baby, you are really hurting me. Who is she? How can you reject me so damn easily? Who are you and what are we? Baby, baby, you are really hurting me. I know you played your part, but baby, it's breaking my heart. Is it over? How could I know? If you don't need me, just let me know and I'll go. I know you're playing your part,
See?
but baby, it's breaking my heart.
It's crooked. Okay, so I don't know if you can notice, but it is slightly crooked. I did a bunch of measurements and I know it's off by about 2 degrees. I don't know if you can see it on camera. Well, I notice it, which kind of sucks, but it's already up there and I don't feel like filling in the wall and stuff like that. But I have learned my lesson. I'm going to have to buy a leveler for whatever my next DIY project is. There's an interesting dichotomy between business and art when it comes to your space. In business, you're told to narrow your vision to focus on a single goal. This is often represented in the space having little to no distractions. No windows, no decor, nothing. Just the computer and the work ahead. But with art, we're taught to broaden our vision, to see everything, regardless of its importance. From the evening sunsets to the bristling of the morning grass, each light ray and every blade of grass are equally important in the pursuit of creating art. I don't think one is better than the other. It's all about what direction you want to take and what you want to accomplish. I think your space should be a reflection of the outside world, seen through your own lens. A space that reminds you about everything that you enjoy in life. It's why you see your favorite creators spend so much time designing their space. If you're going to spend an eternity creating, you might as well remind yourself of what got you there in the first place. We're finally finished. I have been working on this space for what feels like forever, and I'm just glad that it's done. I've still got a lot more planned for this space and just decorating it as it goes. But all in all, being a creative isn't about the gear you use or the canvas you choose to create on. It's about representing the world, anything and everything about it through your own lens. Ultimately in art, there are no rules. And while inspiration isn't something that can be forced, I do think these activities are a good place to start. And I know for sure I'll continue doing these for a long time. Anyways, take care everyone, and I'll see you in the next one.